Watch my eye, oh. Dans le bar, comment faire?
Watch, be careful, oh. Be careful, oh. No, I'll go like a
Amen. Amen. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Thank you very much, Alexis Cora. Today is a memorable day in the annals of the history of Immaculate Conception College. The great family of Emumwen, whose children and family, they are here to commemorate his memory and also to lay a lasting legacy of education in the state and the country in general. We all know why we're here today. We're here to formally declare open this building that has been dedicated to the glory of God and also to the furtherance of education in Nigeria. If you go through the ID, it states e-library. Of course, we all know what it is. Digital library. It's a window that has been opened to everyone, especially the young ones, to access technology, to developing themselves skillfully for the new generation that is coming. The family saw it fitting that this is the only legacy they can leave for the generation that is coming. It's not about money, but it's about a future, a certain future. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're welcome. My name is Emeka Ote. I'll be your compare guide coordinator from now till whenever. We're going to be starting off by recognizing everybody that's here. The Knights are here. The Catholic Church is fully represented. Most memorable here is the family of the one that we are laying this great edifice in memory of. We also have so many things lined up. The welcome prayer will be said by the man of the moment, Reverend Father Dr. Victor Emumwen. And also we have the chairman of today's occasion, Mr. Solomon Asemota, and we have the presence of His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Augustine Akubeze, the Archbishop of Bernadette and President Bishop Conference of Nigeria. A round of applause for him. We are most gratified and dignified having you in our midst. And we also have a representative of the Ministry of Education. We have the board of directors of the school, led by the principal himself, Reverend Father Anthony Kaisomi. We have the national president of ICC Old Boys Association Worldwide. A round of applause for him too. We also have the chairman of Parents Teachers Association of ICC, the librarian, and the family, the Emumwen family, led by Mr. Joseph Emumwen, who will be here to do it justice. We also have the students who are here, who are the main beneficiary of this grand gift. They are going to be using it. So, we've also had music by LXS Choral. We thank you very much for your time. Now let's go back to the beginning, and we are going to be calling the Reverend Father Dr. Victor Emumwen for a welcome speech / prayer, opening prayer. You're welcome, sir. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you. On behalf of my mother and my siblings, we want to welcome all of you today to this event in which we honor our father and at the same time give you guys an opportunity to recognize his service to humanity. We're all here because of a man. And this man is my father. This man is my mother's husband. This man is your friend. This man also, for some of you, just like us, was your teacher. There is one cord, one common denominator that binds your presence here today and the presence of this family. Yes, this man, but there's one thing this man had that makes all of us and our presence here this morning very, very meaningful and significant. And that is, he was a man not on motion, but also to make it. And you know what I mean by to make it. However, he decided to shelve this opportunity and then embrace the teaching of profession. What was his reason? That the forestry department was too corrupt. And because of the integrity that he has, that has instilled in all of us, his children, he decided to humbly go into the teaching profession. And that's where he stayed until he retired. And so we're here today. The Lord be with you.
Father in heaven, in your presence, all human knowledge is as nothing. Yet you have given us a marvelous mind that strives to plumb the universe in its mysteries. Bless this library, stocked with electronic information and materials that store the knowledge of the ages. Grant that all who come herein, particularly the students and teachers of Immaculate Conception College, may be enlightened by the truth, the spirit of truth, so that they may know the truth, and the truth may make them free. Let them neither be puffed up with nor despise the knowledge of the world. Rather, may they learn to use it in conjunction with the knowledge of you, so that they may come evermore to know you and your Son whom you have sent. Grant that all who gather here for work or study may grow in the knowledge of divine and human affairs, and may at the same time make progress in the love of you. We ask this as we do always, through Christ our Lord.
Thank you so much. With that spiritual intervention, we know that God is in charge of today's event and everything is going to go as smooth as we plan. Let me just chip in one or two things again about the e-library before we go to LXS and before we go to the opening, the chairman's speech. Now, like the word goes, E actually stands for digital. Now, why not the regular normal library? Oh, colossal, clumsy, too many things. Now, with this facility here, you have about 60 computers, and the students will access, they have already accessed more than 700,000 books. They can read online, they can download, they can make their researches. And the place is still, spacey enough, environmental friendly, and in a very cool and calm environment is the right place to study. This is exemplary, and so many schools, the government is going to take note of this, and this is going to be the template of how education is going to be planned in future. So for this again, I say a round of applause to the family for thinking so hard and so far, even farther than their father, and Daddy will be so proud of you people for all that you have done. Thank you so very much. Are you ready for me? Alexis.
Each morning for a newborn day, when we may walk the fields of new day. We thank Thee for the sunshine and the air that we breathe, oh Lord. We thank Thee. Okay, and we thank Thee for the little birds that sing along the way. We thank Thee for the trees that breathe, oh Lord, we thank Thee. Yes, we thank flowers that bloom, birds that sing, and fish that swim, and the light of moon. We thank Thee every day as we kneel and pray, that we hold eyes We thank thee for sound so pure and so free. Oh Lord, we thank thee. Sapolo, o sapolo, o sapolo, o sapolo, o sapolo, o lo prego. O sapolo, o sapolo, o sapolo, o sapolo, o sapolo, o sapolo, o lo prego. O sapolo, o sapolo. O sapolo,
A round of applause for a marvelous performance. Alexis Choral. We're still moving on, and next on the line, we are inviting the chairman of today's occasion, a legal luminary in his rights, a man distinguished, popular and known, Mr. Solomon Asemota San, to give the opening remarks. A round of applause as he walks up to the dais.
Your Grace, Archbishop Grace, Emumwen family, my seniors in ICC, we did not know anything about E-Library when we were here. As a matter of fact, some of us did not even come to this compound. The St. Paul's was the ICC, and we had a small cupboard that was a laboratory. I had another tab, good everything you think about. So when we react in some cases, please understand where we are coming from. We also need to thank everybody, especially the Emumwen family. They have introduced us to E-Library model, a small space. I have a very large library, and I don't know what I'll do with them because it's becoming, my telephone is becoming almost taken over from my library. So I hope that we will learn from it and will develop. For the students who are still in ICC, hey, we were good footballers. We also were to go to St. Patrick's College of Saba. When we got back, Father Stephen said, no, we need all the good footballers to come aside. You won't go to Asaba. Although we are selected because we are good athletes and footballers, we ended up doing the leadership which you all enjoy today. Please, 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 we are part of one country, Nigeria. They talk about division, about separation. No. I want you to, and I will plead with the principal and writing to please allow us breathing space to interact with the young ones. For instance, I have a chambers. I would have expected to have 2 or 3 old ICC boys who are lawyers in between. But I cannot go begging them. And we have no system where they can come and we continue. Nigeria needs our help. And I'm sure that Bishop Kelly, when he established ICC, had a future for us. Thought about the future, and I think we are living it. And the Emumwen family, we are very, very, very grateful. And we hope that we ourselves will be able to perform someday, sometime, what Emumwen has done to us. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still on the program, and right now, before we go to the reading out of the biography of Sir Augustine Emumwen by his son, Dr. Luke Emumwen, let's use this moment again to recognize the people that are here. We have in our midst the ICOBA National President Worldwide, Igodalo Edetale. A round of applause for him, please. We also have the Chairman, Board of Governors of ICC, led by Dr. Felix Obeide. He's here. A round of applause for him. Our dear mothers, being represented by the Catholic Women's Organization, CWO, they are all here doing their thing. Welcome back. And we also have the former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Anthony Ojezua, who is here? No. Anselm Ojezua, sorry, spell check. Barrister Anselm Ojezua is the former commissioner here and also a party chieftain. You're welcome, sir. Yeah. Yes, there was a mix-up here, right? We also have, sorry for the mix-up, Dr. Obayuwana, who is the former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. Sorry, sir, you're welcome. Double round of applause for you, sir. Thank you. We also have the Knights of St. Mulumba KSM and other knights who are here. Respect. Thank you for coming. We also have His Royal Highness Jeho Okumbo, the Inogi of Uwe Egbale, Egbede. We roll. You are welcome, Your Highness. And we also have other distinguished members of the audience who are here and who are equally seated and who are here to felicitate and rejoice with us. Most prominent here, His Grace, the Archbishop of Benin City and the President, Bishop Conference of Nigeria, His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Augustine Akubeze. I once again welcome you formally because you are the shining light here, and may God continue to keep you and to guide you. Amen. Dr. Luke Emumwen, the stage is yours for the biography of the great and unforgettable Sir Augustine Ogbebo Emumwen.
Sorry. Thank you. His Grace, Archbishop of Benin City, Chairman, I stand on all protocols. ladies and gentlemen, I have a simple task, just to do what is set down for humanity. The biography of Sir Augustine Ugbebo Emumwen, KSG KSN. He was born on a bright Sunday morning on the 12th of April, 1914. And he lived as God spared his life until the 19th of June, 2009, on the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. He was a renowned teacher, astute school administrator, and disciplinarian who served as vice principal of ICC from 1959 to 1974 when he retired. Of learning, Sir Augustine Ugbebo Emumwen was committed to the holistic development and academic success of every student then. This digital library has been donated through the generosity of the family of Sir Augustine Ugbebo Emumwen of blessed memory. This technological facility provides coherent organization and convenient access to large amount of digital information. The resources and services will encourage present and future staff and students of ICC to teach and learn in ways that build confidence, critical thinking, social skills, and lifelong interests. Permit me to introduce you to this dignifying edifice, and as well introduce the family of Sir Augustine Ugbebo Emumwen. His wife, my mother, our mother, Lady Mrs. Bernadette Emumwen. His children, 10 of us, Reverend Father Dr. Victor Osaumese Emumwen, Lady Mrs. Teresa Iyesoge Ojezro, KFC. My humble self, Sir Dr. Luke Umafido Emumwen, PSN. Mr. Joseph Osaodio Emumwen. Mr. Anthony Osayaweme Emumwen. Mrs. Maria Nusakai Obano. Mr. Patrick Imwetinya Emumwen. Yeah. Mrs. Bridget Imasue Olubesi. The princess. Mr. Gabriel Idehe Emumwen. Mr. Aloysius Idehe Emumwen. and numerous grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and their spouses, sons-in-law, daughters-in-law. I rest my case.
That was it. He who says it knows it. And there is no better person to reel out the biography of a loving father than a loving son. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still on. We are going to skip the keynote speaker, that is Ambassador Daniel Hart. Whenever he's around, he will take his part. So let's go straight again. LXS Choral Group, please. We're going to be holding on because from there on, we're going for the unveiling. So let's use this time out to unwind and get ourselves ready for the high point of today's occasion. Alexis, the microphone is yours. Before you start, please, I would like to remind our guests that the keynote speaker is actually here, and Ambassador Daniel Hart is going to be represented, and is going to give his speech after this condition. Continue.
So see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. Are you baby strong? I watched them grow. They did much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Hallelujah, chimney, Chiona Shimimela, Edi Boramoya chimney, welcome to the mama. Hallelujah, chimney, Chiona Shimimela, Edi Boramoya chimney, welcome to the mama. Hallelujah, chimney, Hallelujah, chimney, Chiona Shimimela, Edi Boramoya chimney, welcome to the mama. Hallelujah, chimney, Chimney, Edi Boramoya chimney, welcome to the mama.
Thank you. A round of applause. A round of applause for a powerful rendition, a powerful dance steps. You know, when I just saw the whole family, brother, sister, dancing, I wish I was an Emumwen. I can see there was no hypocrisy here. You can see that there is love in this family. There is oneness. May God continue to bless and keep you. And just when the son was speaking about growing up in ICC, doing all that they did then, and now reminisce. Then in Benin, I think there were just like 4 prominent schools. You're talking about Edo College, ICC, Maria Goretti. Oh, just 2. You know. Yeah. So, okay, what I meant was, what I meant was, okay, ICC and others. Yeah, you are right. Then we were talking about ICC will definitely have a sister school. That was Maria Goretti. Yeah, so and the other. So normally, when when the schools, especially if ICC has an event, you always see a sprinkling of some fine little girls around the side. It's normal. Now, I was thinking like that, something like that should have happened today, but anyways, leave for some other time. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the high point. No, but before the high point, let's not forget that the chairman's keynote speech will be delivered by a representative. He's going to come here and he will tell us. Sir, you're welcome on behalf of Ambassador Dan Hart.
How do I start? This distinguished audience deserves our gratitude for your patience, for your kind heart in coming at all to celebrate with the ICC family. If for nothing else, taking your precious, if for nothing else, we have taken your precious Friday, the beginning of the weekend. We are humbly grateful. You may call this an unorthodox way of beginning the kind of assignment I've been given. But I should like your indulgence to correct a few mistakes, not of the head, but of the heart. In the first place, the gentleman called Ambassador Taju's Heart, whom you are expecting to address you, is most likely held up overseas, not able to make this journey. It wasn't for want of information that he had been saddled by Dr. Reverend Father Victor with this responsibility. I hesitate to say onerous, because anything that concerns our Papa is a pleasurable assignment. We dialogued about it up and down. Father had two possibilities in mind, and both of us from the set of 1965. My humble self and Ambassador Hart. The problem with Ambassador Hart, even though I would have preferred for him to do this, was that he was thousands of miles away. There was no magic by which I could bring him back, because it was with some temerity, I must confess, that I looked forward to the prospect of giving this keynote address. And it was very convenient for me to hurriedly concede the assignment to Ambassador Hart. And my fine excuse was that Ambassador Hart, at least in one singular respect, deserved to do the honor, namely that he had been privileged by the grace of his grace to serve in the governance structure as the Board of Governors of ICC as the chairman for a term. And therefore, I thought that some input at that level would have given appropriate grandeur and honor to the gravitas of this occasion. But please don't mind my grammar. Now, grammar then takes spoil us here. As you will discover at the end, when the paper is distributed, then don't make me school librarian. Big deal. I read all the books there, but that is in the past. I noticed that the family did not develop quite a protocol list for this occasion, but then train us well now. So I will attempt to hazard a proper protocol list. I will recognize our distinguished old boy, who's chair of the occasion, in the person of Solomon Samota, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, not be SAN. You know they call him SAN, not be SAN, SAN, SAN. Pasamota, now locked back before, started life as a policeman. So if you not see him for roadblock, no ask him what they do there. But frankly, it's one of our very, very eminent old boys. We are not proud of him simply because he was of the 1958 set. He was also SP, head boy, school prefect. Later, he helped in giving a national and eventually an international stature to the Old Boys Association. So see us all over the web today, Nai lay the foundation. It could not help us thank them. I'm a Catholic, I'm a knight. I recognize the presence of His Grace Archbishop, the local ordinary of this metropolitan see, as well as you have been told before, the current chairman of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria. But I hasten to add that I'm here wearing 3 caps. I'm a knight of St. Mulumba, but I don't dress like them today. I hope I don't go get queried because my Metro Grand Knight is present here. Sir Moses Iyasere is here and his entourage. And sir, we are very grateful for your presence. Then I move on to their Royal Highnesses who are present. I don't have the names. I should have known that I should have come before time to help Dr. Emumwen to do that. After all of us now work out for this campus before. We should have done better than that. I apologize that there's no established protocol list, but that is what I'm doing with style now. Then you have the board of governors of the school. The pecking order, of course, they take precedence above every other functionary except for His Grace the Proprietor. Happens to be an old boy, of course, Dr. Felix Obede, retired CNG, etc., and his lovely wife, my sister. Then you have a lineup of 3 other presidents of ICOPA in order of their holding the office. You have Engineer Dalo Edekane, who just last weekend here took over the mantle of leadership from another engineer, Engineer Morete John, who has been there for the better part of the past decade. We know they change our good things quickly. They leave them there to serve us. Then you have that's the immediate past. Then you have the past president, a distinguished engineer. He's a member of the Academy of Engineering. He's many other things besides. But he's also, of course, a member of our KSM, Knights of St. Mulumba, and a paper knight of the Order of St. Gregory the Great. His wife is also a dame. in her own right, please, not as a tag along. In her own right, a paper deal. So please give him an applause. This is an ICC occasion, and he should stand up and give us a bow. Thank you, sir. Engineer Emumwen Joseph Sunday Ojawan. We call him other nicknames, but I won't dare to mention anyone here. Having exhausted the list of old boys, their leadership here, permit me to recognize our beloved principal, Dr. Reverend Father Ekashomi. I don't know how many PhDs he has. Our Reverend Fathers nowadays, they tend to accumulate PhDs the way we used to accumulate GCE results. He's here. He's always here. He's always here for us. The gate is always open to old boys. And when we report to him that we have seen an old boy, we have seen a current student of the school whose shirt is not quite well tucked in, it compounds the boy's problem. Then you have his staff who are here. We recognize you. We have knights and ladies of orders of knighthood who were invited by the family. I don't know you individually, but they know you. We have other special guests from the religious orders. I can see them in their familiar uniforms. And then finally, because we are very humble, we recognize members of the CWO. I believe it's the Metro Executive. I don't know what they are called. I hope you are not offended. And then we have our beloved old boy. Whether you be honorable or distinguished too, you be old boy here. If I senior you, I senior you. The people will senior me, them present here. So you get as I feel talk rich. Otherwise, we know as we go. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've titled this keynote address, Celebrating a Man for All Seasons. A man for all seasons. That's what Augustine Emumwen was. And one of the presidents here, who incidentally was in office when we had his obsequies and rites of passage, read an oration which was so headed. And I think it's appropriate to recall that. I feel exceptionally privileged, humbled, and elated to have been selected by my most respected big brother, Reverend Father Dr. Victor the concurrence of the rest of the distinguished Emumwen family to render the keynote address on the occasion of the solemn commission of the Augustine Emumwen Memorial Library, which is right behind us or in front of us here, depending on the direction you are facing. By the children of Emumwen. Before I proceed further with my task, I will humbly ask for your indulgence to establish my credentials to venture into the subject matter. Why we are here? In the first place, I'm a proud product of the 1965 graduating class. That is to say, I was privileged to have been admitted into Form 1 in 1961. When they come resume for inside rubber plantation or here, just to put things in context, and left in 1965. those days, school certificate and 5-year course. Throughout this formative period, I was under the eagle eye, and I mean eagle eye, like Federal Road Safety Commission, and mentorship of two outstanding personalities, namely the principal Reverend Father Joseph Patrick Donald, the SMA, whom we students popularly refer to as JD, and the senior tutor and subsequent vice principal, Augustine Emumwen, by Emumwen, for whose sake we are gathered today. I also happen to have been the son of his classmate and friend, Bernadette Ernest Rusota. They all attended the famous St. Thomas Teacher Training College, Rusota, from 34 to 38. They left with the senior, they left with the grade 2 teachers certificate. They are all read for senior teachers, matriculation, and so on. Because of the politics of the time, they don't see who could give them scholarship to go to university. That's why they know. Nobody say they don't know. They have piles of admission letters to show, but no money. Now, I even schooled with Luke. I dey call him Luke. Now, Sir Dr. Luke Emumwen, a lifetime education for a few years before he disappeared from ICC, which I never had the courage to inquire why, either from Pa or from Luke himself. Brother Joseph was also an ICC boy. I think he was a year or two behind our class. As for Big Sister Teresa, now Lady Mrs. Teresa Jesua, famously a product of Marymount College, Abo, and bosom friend of my future sister-in-law, Bernadette, young as she then was, later Mrs. Bernadette Mekako, whose last-born son, Aloha, is now Reverend Father Aloha Mekako. You see where Father dances. The father of Bernadette Mekako was late Mr. Michael Young, my father-in-law. All three of them, Emumwen, Young, and Irusota, were classmates at St. Thomas TT College, Oza. Then there is Anthony Maria.
Look at me.
I no go talk say capture one old boy. Patrick, Bridget, our beauty queen, Gabriel Aloy, and their phalanx of Emumwen grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I could go on and on. Not to be outdone, my wife and I were more than happy to accept to be official sponsors to Gregory Emumwen, the eldest son of our dear Sir Luke and his wife, Gladys, when he and his sweetheart exchanged wedding vows in April 2015 at St. Maria Goretti, Paris, Benin City. At a ceremony where Father fly all the way from America, come conduct by himself. That one reached to make person fear. Okay. So, as you can see, I'm just a tiny bit familiar with the family. So I claim that as my credential for standing here at all. Again, I apologize that my classmate is not here to do his thing. But as you can see, this is a personalized one I have written. If he was here, he would do the same. Now, a sense of noblesse oblige. Noblesse oblige is my choice of theme for today's address. You need some qualification. Then teachers here say, if you get past the next man in the line, if life has given you more privileges, then you should be prepared to give back to life. I'll speak to the paper from now because I've been told that His Grace is anxious to get on with the solemn commission. In Grace forget say today in Grace be captive audience for ICC boys and but because I'm an obedient boy, I go obey my bishop. Now, the first category of giving, this kind of giving, I've called noblesse of life of the first kind. And that is when we individuals go, Father, mathematics prize, take. Geography prize, take. I need water. Just put down for here. Then, all the prizes we were given, all the prizes were given when we were in school. They didn't fall from heaven. They were donated by people like SAN Asemota who had gone to the school before us to show that they were still supportive of the school. Then there is the noblesse of life of the second kind. Not unlike what ICC old boys have been very much involved in during the past 50 years. That the association has come sufficiently of age to be able to relate to the school and to try to do the little we can. I waited for my chairman to give a litany of some of those things, but I realized that it's not an occasion to celebrate the old boys. It is our great teacher we are celebrating. So whatever puny things we may have done in the past, this one big past all of them. But I'll mention a particular gift. One of our earliest presidents of this branch, Benin branch, my predecessor waited, Andrew Aborina, gave us a piece of land at Ubowo opposite the University of Benin campus. Today, we don't finish the first floor of a 3-floor structure. Now there will they meet, now there will they jolly at the end of the year. Now that is a great gift by a great old boy to the great old boys of the great college. We have not exhausted the possibilities of that one. Then we now come to noblesse of life of the third kind, a whole new category which we must recognize, namely where the children and descendants of an outstanding past teacher, school administrator, formator par excellence, and role model during a period we must now label with historical hindsight at the golden age of ICC, 1960 to 1972. Those who are caught up, no vex. Choose to honor his memory by jointly giving an impactful gift to the present and future generations of students as their father's legacy in the name of an e-library. Look with due respect in a adequate tribute to the significance of that gift. Family is not rich. How teacher people go rich in Nigeria? But they are sacrificial. And that is great thing about this gift. I have not been made privy to the financial outlays involved in the building and equipping of the e-library. But I hope that Father Victor will do Archbishop Augustine Obiora Gubese the favor of whispering in his ear at least how much it costs, even if the family is too modest to announce it in public. But perhaps those details will be disclosed, perhaps not. The gesture by the Emumwen family, we can boldly say, indisputably sets a new standard in the annals of the mysterious chemistry and spiritual bond. Ask me what mysterious chemistry is. That abides forever in the inscrutable relationship between a dedicated schoolmaster and his wards entrusted to his care in the most critical period of their grooming to become responsible adult members of society. For the literati, that is all of you here, we know for whom book is not around. For the literati, one is reminded of the legendary fictional character of school teacher Mr. Arthur Chipping in a book titled Goodbye, Mr. Chips, authored by an Englishman, Mr. James Hilton. No, ask me where I read them. The book speaks of the life and times of a young English school master who came to teach at Brookfield High School, a fictional boys' public school in England. Being of the old conservative mold, he gently but firmly as he could helped to mold the lives of generations of students who passed through him and became affectionately known by them as quote-unquote Mr. Chips. Many a tear was shed when he finally retired from the school. Now, why it concerns us here? Despite the distance in time, 1972 go reach this time, since Emumwen finally separated from ICC, and by the way, then went on to the junior seminary St. Paul here to teach. So he participated in the formation of seminarians, not just us. Although he still produced some father from here, the memories of his firm dictionary hand and fatherly disposition still resonates in the hearts and affection of all his students of that era. The moment and the significance of their gift. The gift of the monumental e-library by the combined efforts of the Emumwen children and grandchildren led by Reverend Father Dr. Emumwen, therefore, compels the respect, admiration, appreciation of all of us who have had the great privilege of having been by Emumwen students at ICC. Our dear Emumwen passed from physical existence on the 19th of June 2009 at the age of 95. ICC Old Boys Association had the privilege of being fully associated with the obstacles. In a moving tribute on behalf of former students of ICC worldwide, delivered on that occasion by then National President of ICOBA, the Right Honorable Chevalier Dr. Imare Joseph Ujama, KSM, KSGG, etc., etc. The old boys had inter alia the following to say, quote, one of the fondest memories of you, talking about Emumwen now, which time or age has not diminished, is the one where you are standing in front of a room full of anxious and eager ICC students waiting for their school certificate examination to start, with you holding up a bound and sealed parcel of examination questions from WAEC. You would address us and say, boys, you see the examination questions are intact, unquote. Then you proceed to break open the sealed pack and distribute the question papers and exam scripts, face down on each boy's desk, to be turned over only on your command. And at the end of the allotted time, you will collect all our scripts and put them under seal to be sent back to WAEC with no single WAEC official in sight, no single one in sight. The proper conduct of the examination of the examinations those days depended on your integrity alone, a trust you never betrayed. Mr. Chairman, Your Grace, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, this is the towering figure of a teacher, a complete school administrator, a disciplinarian without compare, a Catholic knight and quote and unquote original Grand Knight of the Benin Sub-Council of the Order of the Knights of St. Columba, Nigeria, a Papal Knights of St. Gregory the Great, and other titles, including the royal beads he received from His Majesty the Oba Benin, and above all, a devoted Christian gentleman, a model family man, and a formator of seminarians. This is the man that the children have chosen to memorialize with this extraordinary gift of an e-library to the present and future generations of the college, to which their father had devoted the best part of his working life. Your gesture in memory of your illustrious forebear is truly fitting and deserving. The present principal of ICC, Reverend Father Dr. Anthony Kaisomi, and the teaching faculty and other staff appreciate you. The current students of ICC can hardly contain their excitement at your extraordinary gesture. The parents whose children are privileged to witness this great leap forward in the learning facilities available to their precious words are hoping that today is a herald of three things to happen in the life of the college. The Old Boys Association, in collaboration with His Grace, the school proprietor, Most Reverend Dr. Augustine Obiora Beze, will no doubt feel challenged to do even more for the college, which is so dear to all our hearts. Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, many years ago, the Emumwen family did not hesitate to donate their son, indeed the firstborn son, to a vocation in the Catholic priesthood, in the service of God and the church. Here we are several decades later. To witness that the family has remained faithful to the Catholic faith, and all the offsprings, without exception, have been rewarded, even in this world, not in heaven, with sound intellect, good health, longevity of life, and above all, contentment and the spirit of giving. The gift in memory of Emumwen is all the more remarkable because Reverend Father Victor himself, I understand, is a product of St. Patrick's College and not ICC. Mr. Chairman, with your kind permission, may I invite all the Emumwen family members here present to please come forward, face the audience if they like, and take a bow. Please take a bow. We are grateful to you, and there's no other way we can show you. Wherever you are, in fact, wherever you are seated, please take a bow. Yes, you can stand. Now for my epilogue, Mr. Chairman, before I proceed further with the keynote address, I want to indulge myself because my Archbishop is here. So things that have been agitating my mind, which are germane to our purpose in being here, I want to mention them. I've used the expression smorgasbord, a kind of collage, collection, little bits and pieces brought together for your kind takeaway, everybody. One is the unfinished business of the return of mission schools to their propriety. That's one. The college founded by the Catholic Mission of the Irish province of the SMA in 1944 will be 78 years old this year, 2022. From its tender beginnings as a feeder junior secondary school to St. Patrick's College, Asaba, till it produced its own first set of graduates in 1958, it was evident that as the only Catholic secondary school for boys located in the headquarters of the old Benin province, it had to compete with Edo College, who the then British colonial administration had established much earlier in Benin City in 1937. It is no wonder that the then Bishop of Benin Diocese, Most Reverend Patrick Joseph Kelly, SMA, gave the college every support that was within his power to give towards the rapid establishment of the institution under the pioneer principal, Reverend Father Andrew Orok. It was not until 1954 that the college admitted the first batch of intakes destined to complete their entire 5-year studentship at ICC in preparation for the 1958 West African School Certificate Examination. Solomon Semuta, SAN, chairman of today's event, was not only in that class, he was also the first senior prefect of the full-fledged college. Interestingly, he was able to serve later as national president of the Old Boys Association. The learned senior advocate at 80 plus of age, you won't believe it, is today a living example of a successful and accomplished old boy, of which we are justifiably proud. Apart from my personal opinion that he is most certainly a well-considered choice to chairman this unique occasion, and that he is indeed a role model for all CEO boys. I respectfully remind all of you here that you are a tireless fighter for social justice in Nigeria and the proper restructuring of the Federation in order to be equitable to all the ethnic groups that occupy this space we call Nigeria. He showed a bit of it when he was addressing you at the beginning. He says Nigeria is all we have and we must fight for it. I should simply close this narrative here by observing that the period 73 to 2004, when ICC came under direct state government control, was the nadir, lowest point in the trajectory of its development. In retrospect, the government takeover of missionary and voluntary agency secondary educational institutions was both ill-considered and ill-advised. The subsequent partially successful agitation for the return of such colleges to their original owners, from which ICC has greatly benefited, leading to the restoration of its former glory, should become the basis for the Catholic mission and other faith-based proprietors to press for the return of other similar schools still retained by government, like our sister school, St. Maria Goretti Girls Grammar School, Benin City. Without the return of such institutions to their original owners, it will be hard to see how accomplished Catholic families like the Emumwen, not to talk of the Old Boys Health Association, will be motivated to sink their family wealth and resources into a school which will not attach much sentiment to the high ethical standards and commitment to high academic excellence that they would obviously expect from a church-supervised institution like ICC. I address my bishop here. Semper et ubique fidelis, our motto. This is the long result. All ICC old boys are justifiably proud of the great education they received while they were students at the college. And it is no wonder that despite the passage of the years, their endearment and love for their alma mater continues to resonate. The positive values inculcated in them and encapsulated in the college motto, Semper et ubique fidelis, always and everywhere faithful to God and country, has remained the cornerstone of their character. And this fundamental principle is what uniquely distinguishes them from others who did not pass through the same crucible in their youth. We are always faithful and we do our duty. We believe in hard work and we have a sense of our Catholic Christian foundation as our beacon to guide us in the situations in life where moral ambivalence and situation ethics are too often resorted to in order to court cheap popularity. Or to gain unearned advantage. As I look around the gathering in my old college, I'm reminded that many an old boy has suffered punishment, hardships, deprivation, and denial of their just entitlement, simply for refusing to do, quote, what they didn't teach us at ICC. One of the sad observations said to have been made by our legendary principal, Reverend Father Joseph Patrick Donnell SMA, in the later part of his life, was that the Nigeria he was then experiencing in the post-Civil War and post-bomb era was not the country he and his colleagues, including by Emumwen in certain way, had prepared us his students for. He was referring to the graft, the corruption, the naked diversion of public funds into private pockets, the loss of a moral compass, and the other vices that have sadly come to characterize our society. Following the dislocation brought by the Nigerian Biafra Civil War, 1967,